We're coming to you from the Gold Reef City in Omonde, south of Johannesburg. Welcome to the Art Bulletin. On Thursday evening, the Gauteng Film Commission, together with the province's Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, bid farewell to the team behind feature film Elalwini. The film has been invited to the 63rd edition of the Berlin International Film Festival, which kicks off on the 7th of February and ends on the 17th.
Berlin is not only important to showcase the film at the festival, but also our first and probably very big opportunity to sell the film to other territories. I think it's really a cultural, a landmark film that will be seen in years to come.
It's my first big film project, so that we got it right with my very first project in film, my first big project. It's quite humbling. Our director believes in workshopping every single move and emotion. So we went through a lot of that before we even got on location.
The mother city's most anticipated and very glitzy fashion and horse racing event takes place today. The JNB Met is in its 36th year and the theme is Made to Fly.
Your fashion sense is meant to fly this weekend as the JNB Met stages yet another fashion horse racing annual affair in Cape Town. Kenilworth will be abuzz with edgy, extraordinary, out there fashion and top horses and jockeys racing throughout the day. The Met, an outdoor social and sporting event, is on its 36th year, famous for being one of the scorching hot dews as the weather is usually extremely hot and the activities much appreciated by the attendees.
Artist Nathan Gates will exhibit his latest work titled Fingers in the Outlet at Room in Braamfontein. It's a collection of sculptural elements ranging from scrap wood to consumer electronics.
The show is part of a research project I've been doing into the ideas of bricolage. And the work you see is really, it's an experiment in seeing how learning can shape a process of making. I think with all the works I didn't have like a preconceived idea. It's a lot of what the work's about is I would fiddle with an object and see what I learned from it and then apply that in the next step. And it happened to be like I had a toy that had a motion sensor in and I used that sensor in the work. These are all objects I have around me kind of all the time. I encounter them every day like in a domestic setting, so it's TVs, old camera from my father, and I like secondhand stores and I collect these kinds of things kind of because I'm interested in how they work and how I can use them in a different way.
The annual Origin Electronic Music Festival kicked off yesterday in Villiers-Drop in the Western Cape. The three-day-long event is recognized as the calendar highlight for techno music fanatics and one of very few events in the country which gets DJs from all corners of the world in one venue. The Elandskloof Farm, which is situated between Villiers-Drop and Greyton, is the host venue for the Origin Electronic Music Festival. The festival will host 40 DJs and outfits from all over the country and the world. The festival uses 3 venues to keep techno music fanatics entertained for 3 days. This year, headliners include De-Addiction from Israel, Luigi Madonna from Italy, Dexter from the UK and the Master Blasters from the UK as well. For more details on tickets, venues, routes and the lineup, visit www.originsfestival.com. The Cape Town Electronic Music Festival will be the next on the calendar. In November 2012, the Cape Town International Jazz Festival had its first artist announcement for the 2013 leg of the Jazz Gathering. The lineup included musician and arranger Victor Ntoni, who unfortunately lost his life this week. Coincidentally, ESP Africa had its final lineup announcement the day after Ntoni's death.
Besides Buena Vista Social Club, we've also got Jill Scott finally coming back again. Brand new heavies. Gary Porter, the great folk vocalist, Jean-Luc Ponte, Jack DeJohnny, Ravi Coltrane, and it goes on Zonke, our own Zonke, Temba Mkize, and of course, the saddest part is that we've booked Victor Ntoni, and he just, with his passing, I think we need to do some kind of celebration in honor of
and acknowledge his
legacy,
contribution.
South African-born Nobel Prize recipient James Coetzee will wear one of his least worn hats in July, that of curator for Belgium's most intriguing sculptor Belinda de Breekera's work at the Venice Biennale.
Flemish sculptress Belinda de Breekera's work predominantly takes the form of sculptures of wounded animals and humans. Renowned author James Coetzee is a supporter of animal rights, and that's where the two link. Breekera and Coetzee recently worked together on a book entitled Allen Fierce, directly translated as All Flesh. De Breekera is quoted in an interview as saying that the curator's role is somebody you have to be able to talk to about your work, who you can show what you're doing and get a response.
Still at the Venice Biennale, the deadline for curators who want to participate in the 55th edition of the International Art Exhibition is fast approaching. Curators have until next Friday to submit a concept, motivation and profile for the South African exhibition of the Venice Biennale.
The role of the curator really is to design a concept for South Africa, to select the artists that are going to meet his concept and to put up the exhibition and to manage all of the things that need to come with that, the communication, the marketing and all those things. So that is what we have opened a call for. The call closes on the 8th of February. So we are looking at receiving the applications from various curators by then and make a selection. We are hoping that by the end of February, early March, we'll make an announcement who the curator is so that they can get down to the work of actually making the exhibition happen.
From the Gold Reef City's theme park in Omonde in Johannesburg, that's how we come to the end of today's Art Bulletin. Do feel free to keep in touch with us. Our email address is morninglive@sabc.co.za. Our Facebook page is the Art Bulletin and in brackets, Morning Live. That Twitter handle is simply the Art Bulletin. Until tomorrow morning, it's a goodbye from us.